How to convert text to uppercase from a shell? Well, that seems a pretty basic question, isn't it? But like always when talking about the shell, there are many different answers to that question. A good occasion for you to discover some standard Unix tools you may have missed, or to practice a little bit with the bash. The canonical tool to convert characters from a file is the tr command. Strictly speaking, tr, like most other commands I will use today, is a filter. Simply said, you will need an input redirection to feed data into that command from a file, and an output redirection to capture its result. That command explicitly replaced any letter in the A to Z range by its uppercase equivalent. If you prefer, you may use a standard character class name instead of an explicit range. It does not change anything here. Another tool you could use is dd. dd has a reputation of being a dangerous tool since it can be used to wipe out entire disks in just one command. But at its core, it is just a very fast tool to copy data from a file-like object to another one. While copying data, dd can also apply some simple transformations to them, like converting the character's case. For the sake of completeness, I cannot avoid mentioning here the standard sed yank command, but it is just awful to use since it does not support character classes. So, do we have working solutions? Well, apparently yes. Unfortunately, all of these solutions suffer from the same issue. They will not properly handle accentuated letters and other diacritical marks. To see the problem, let's replace those commands, but this time on a text written in French. Obviously, that was not the result I expected. So let's see now if awk is better suited to handle internationalization issues. Great, this time it really works. But why? Well, in fact, there are two requirements for a tool to properly handle accentuated letters. First, it must understand the character encoding used to store the text data. Specifically in my case, it should understand UTF-8, which happens to be a variable length encoding. Because it was unable to deal properly with multi-byte characters, the GNU version of TR used above failed in converting accentuated letters. And dd suffered from the same limitation since, by design, it works at the byte level. Second, to properly handle case conversion, a tool must honor what is considered as a lowercase character and how to match it with its corresponding uppercase character in a given language. To do that, a compliant tool must examine the value of the LCC type, Locale, setting. But let's see now how the behavior of awk will change if I temporarily switch to the C Locale. Suddenly, awk is no longer aware of accentuated letters, because the C Locale only defines conversion rules for the characters in the US ASCII range. So what are the other local aware ways of converting characters to uppercases? You probably remember I already explained the standard sed yank command was not the best tool for the job, but the popular GNU implementation of sed has a non-standard substitution modifier that will work. That GNU extension to sed is strongly inspired by its Perl counterpart. Finally, for relatively small texts, you can directly use the bash to convert character case while getting the content of a variable. Or if you prefer, you can declare a variable to automatically convert its content to uppercases. So, starting from an apparently simple question, we've seen several different solutions, some of them being better than others at handling internationalization issues. But maybe you could find other ways to convert from lowercase to uppercase letters. And if that's the case, don't forget to share that with us using the comment section below.